sound you never want to hear. First place we went to look was the EGR bypass valve. And as you can see, one screw here is loose and the other one's missing. We did a relative compression test and cylinder number 5 was low, so we got a pretty good idea where we would have looked for it. You can see that it damaged the valve, pounded the cylinder head pretty good. You can see it pounded the piston pretty good too. It actually broke a chunk of it off, so now you've got more pieces floating around in the engine. Little sparkly bits are all metal, and it's everywhere. I'll have a look at the other side of the engine. And you can see there's all the little bits on the other side too, so it's transferred from side to side. It's all in the intake manifold. It's just everywhere. Apparently the guy drove for quite a while with this noise. It's kind of hard to see, but looking down into the turbo there's some sparkly bits there too, so you know, it's gone through the turbo, through the heads, through the cylinders, through the turbo, and is punching all those little bits down the exhaust. So we'll look at the turbo here, and we're going to remove the VGT unit. That's the VGT, little levers that move the vanes. You can see that the inner portion of the blades are all damaged, so something fairly big has hit them.
Here, I'll turn it.
And not just a couple, like I mean every one of them has been hit. So we've got 3 scenarios with this screw going through the engine. The first one is it goes over out of the valve, across the crossover pipe and straight out the exhaust. You'd probably never know there's anything wrong with the engine other than the check engine light will eventually turn on because of the bypass valve not working properly. Second one is the screw goes across, damages the turbo and out the exhaust. The third scenario is the worst scenario, is what we had right here. The screw comes out of the bypass valve and straight up the EGR tube. it gets dropped off in the intake elbow there and then heads straight into the engine. Now if you look at the front of this engine, that intake elbow is slightly biased towards bank 2 here. So my guess is that the screw is probably going to head to bank 2 in most cases. But I may be wrong. So, it came up the tube, went in the intake, and in our case it went right over to bank 2 in cylinder number 5. And then it just kept, all the pieces kept doing that loop over and over again, so it's getting spread around like crazy. It could be that it's just the luck of the draw on which cylinder was on intake stroke and pulled the screw in. It might be that too, I don't know. Anyways, there's a recall about that problem, and it's 18E02. If you don't want to have this kind of scenario, I would suggest that you get it done.